Hi everyone, in this video you'll learn how to construct and frame a canvas print for less than $30. Typically the retail on something like this would be about over $200. It is really easy and you don't necessarily need any power tools. So I got this canvas print from Aliexpress for about $14. There are many canvases that you can buy and you can even submit your own photo for printing. So here we're measuring the length, which is approximately 70.75 inches in length horizontally and about 23.625 inches in width. And so next we're going to get our wood, and for this we are actually planing our wood because it was a rough cut, and we're going through the planer to get it nice and smooth on both sides. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create two horizontal frame members that will go along the length of your canvas with four supporting vertical ends which are equally spaced. So we're going to cut those to measurement and the required length, and here we are using a miter saw, but if you don't have a miter saw you can definitely use a hand saw. And so you're going to trim both of the ends, make sure that they are placed exactly the same length, and putting them together to verify that. And so you'll see that we're putting these side by side. So these are going to be our two horizontal. These are our four vertical now, and so that will give it the structure that it requires. And we're just measuring this here to make sure that we have the right vertical length here to place our horizontal pieces. So again, you're going to need about four of those, and here we are clamping down the horizontal pieces, remeasuring the vertical pieces, and cutting the vertical pieces to make sure that they are aligned with the horizontal pieces. And so we're just measuring that, and you might need to tap it in a little bit to make it fit. And here we are doing that there just to make sure that it is completely flush to both of the edges. And so we're just spacing them out here now. And so what you'll want to do is include each of these pieces. There are four vertical pieces in total. So we made sure that we were measuring everything and also spacing it accordingly. Now the other thing that you're going to want to do is create these support systems, which are cut at 45-inch angle here. And so we created 8 of these and spaced them in the corners to make sure that they provided additional support to our frame that would be wrapping. This just gives additional structural integrity to the frame, and it's real easy to cut these. We did 8 again. And so what you'll do is you'll take your regular wood glue, anyone, we're using a white wood glue here. We're gluing all of the ends before we use the air nailer. You don't necessarily need to use an air nailer. You could even use a screwdriver, for example, but in this case it was just easier for us to use an air nailer. And so we've clamped down the horizontal pieces. We're putting now the vertical pieces and making those flush edge to edge, and also moving the clamps to put them along the seams, which we're doing here. That will just allow it to really make sure that the edges are flush while it dries, that wood glue dries. And here we are doing the 45 angle pieces as well, which will provide that additional support. And so we have 2 on either side and then 4 in the middle, which you'll see in a moment here. So we're just putting those in the corner, putting them completely flush, and then for additional integrity we're taking the air nailer and nailing those pieces in. And so we did that for every single 45 piece support there. And so now this is the end product. This is what it looks. We also included some additional brackets to continue to press together the wood pieces as it dried, and we're just taking that off. The next step is really to sand the edges, because that wood glue sometimes it seeps out, and we just want to make sure that it is completely flush. So we're just taking a block of sandpaper and just going through all of the edges. Make sure that nothing is kind of poking out. You don't want your canvas to rip. So we're just going through very finely, very quickly, just to make sure that all of the edges are nice and smooth. And so here is the next step, which is to place it against your canvas. And so as you can see, we've pretty much done a great job here of making sure that the bleed is right against the wood here. We are taping with masking tape just to put it into place, but we will be nailing that with a staple gun. And so you'll see that we did that here. You want to pull the canvas real tight so that it does not have any waves in the canvas, no dimples and things. That's another quick tip, is to make sure that your canvas is against a surface that is nice and clean. You do not want it ripping, you do not want it kind of waving out because there are things on your table. You're not working on a clean surface, so make sure that you are working on a clean surface and you can start to nail this down. We did do the sides first before the corners, and there is a little bit of a trick to do this corner here. We can see that here. You have to fold up and over the edges and then nail it down here, just as so. And then once you're done, it is complete.
2, 3.
You can flip it over and there is your canvas, complete wrap with the bleed right to the edge, following underneath the edge as well. You can choose to put some masking tape around to complete the finish if you want. Here we're just trying to understand where the center is because of the density of the wood. You want to make sure that you are placing the pieces in the center, and here we're using a Popcan tab, a washer, and a screw, and we are putting it where that center of gravity was with the frame. So we're just screwing that in here. It's actually a really economical and environmentally friendly way to hang any kind of photo, not just a canvas photo such as this, but it's got incredible structural integrity here. So we're just screwing that in, and then you're going to pull it slightly towards you, that top of the pop can, and you'll just see it in just a second. And that's where your nail will go, or your screw, when you go to hang it. And here's the finished product. Our canvas wrap for less than $30. Again, it was about $14 on Aliexpress, and the wood was probably around $15. It was really scrap wood. So here's the finished product. Beautiful photo at an economical and easy to make price. Enjoy.